This is a CBS News Update. I'm Mary Calvi. We start with breaking news. Scaffolding dangling on a building on West 30th and 8th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. Two people got stuck in a precarious position, but both have now been rescued. One person got off the scaffolding on their own. Firefighters did have to help the other individual to safety. Pretty scary there. The threat of more rain comes today as parts of the tri-state remain waterlogged. Yesterday's downpours left some people in need of rescue after getting trapped in dangerous flooding. CBS News' Natalie Dudridge has more as people try to clean up and dry out.
In Port Jefferson on Long Island, rescue teams saved dozens of people stranded by floodwaters at multiple restaurants near Main Street. Firefighters loaded people onto rescue vehicles to help them get to their cars.
Inside, we had about 30 people having dinner, finishing their dinner, and the water kind of surrounded them, and everyone kind of jumped up.
In Fairview, New Jersey, more than 100 people were rescued from an industrial park as buildings began to take on water. Employees soon realized they were trapped.
So the river is over the limit, so there's nothing we can do. Just wait for the fire department and get out of there as soon as possible.
Firefighters loaded employees up by the bucket full on construction equipment. High water rescue vehicles were also brought in, taking people to higher ground on front-end loaders.
The flooding happens often, but not to this extent. We've never had to rescue people from the building before.
Cell phone video captured just how dangerous things got. This car with no driver behind the wheel just floating away. In Bogota, a military-style Humvee was called in to make a fast save. A driver with a passenger in the back seat had to be rescued as the car began to float.
Water just meets right here, and it just kept going in. And the officer got her just like 2 minutes before she completely went under.
Other drivers in Bayonne said they had no time to react before they were surrounded.
I was driving down the street, water was coming up out of the manholes.
So what can you expect for today? Let's turn things over to John Elliott with the forecast. John.
It's just staggering. You look at those pictures. So quick recap. You know, the city had 2 inches of rain. That was small potatoes compared to parts of Westchester, over 7. And in Connecticut as well. Right now in the city, cloudy and 76. Let's catch our breath. 72 to 80. Wow, around the area. These numbers, it's a lot warmer. It's 22 degrees warmer north and west. 10 degrees warmer in the city. Dew points are up. So you're saying, man, muggy. It's very muggy. So the atmosphere is ready for some rain and storms. That high of 81, warmest of the week. And yeah, that's the normal high for the 26th of August. So definitely a summer feel. The concern is, will we have a summer storm scenario play out later? Right now, it is very quiet, which is some good news. You get a sense of this front off to the west. So the concern is some isolated strong storms. Let's time it out for you. Futurecast, you should be okay for after-school pickup. Far cry from yesterday. But then into the evening hours, this is the line. 9 o'clock. Tell you what, the concern is isolated severe weather. So there could be gusty winds, brief heavy rain, of course, but also a little hail. Wind is going to be really vexing because the water, so much water, the root system, everything's saturated, so trees are vulnerable. Then that breaks out and we see a nice Thursday. Thursday shapes up and that chance of rain is back on Friday. So remember the timing. It's late today, tonight really for most areas. So be safe. Mary?
John, thank you. Right now, a hearing on whether an independent monitor should oversee the city housing authority is happening in federal court. In June, the city agreed to spend more than $2 billion over the next decade to fix problems for about 400,000 NYCHA residents. The consent decree followed a 2-year investigation into NYCHA, where federal prosecutors found health and safety hazards at its developments, including lead paint, mold, rats, no heat, and broken elevators. That plus scathing findings about how NYCHA was run. Part of the agreement includes the city bringing in an independent monitor to make sure repairs get done the right way for residents like Tabitha Rivera.
I've literally watched a man shake my wall into 2 pieces and say that it was structurally sound. Why is it that we have to live like this?
More than 100 residents and witnesses are expected in court to share their NYCHA horror stories, similar to Rivera's. In order for this deal to go through, a judge needs to sign off on it. We'll bring you updates on the hearing as it continues throughout the day. Police are looking for a burglar who's been crawling through open windows in parts of Queens, including Ozone Park and Woodhaven. The NYPD released this picture of a suspect they say has struck almost a dozen times since July. In the first two cases, the homeowners say someone got in through a door, but ever since then, police say he's used windows. The most recent burglary happened on Saturday. Happening now, Mayor de Blasio and Fire Commissioner Nigro are at an unveiling of a plaque honoring fallen firefighter William Tolley at his firehouse in Queens. The 14-year veteran died in the line of duty in April of 2017 after falling from a roof while battling a fire in an apartment building in Ridgewood. You can watch the full ceremony streaming on our Facebook page at CBS New York. The head of the Transit Authority says the subways are getting better and cleaner. Andy Byford was at the Fulton Street station yesterday. He showed off recent improvements, including the removal of pigeon droppings from windows at the 225th Street station. This after a bad week that included signal failures, falling debris, and flooded stations.
Do you think that riders give you enough credit right now for turning the system around?
I think the riders are, the jury's out. I hope that they see, little by little, improvements. We're deadly serious about improving every aspect of service.
Under a 10-year plan Byford is working on, 300 subway stations would be built, new signals installed, and old cars replaced. Badea School 15 in Yonkers remains closed while mold is removed. The building was evacuated Monday afternoon after test results showed 25% of ceiling tiles had mold. Officials say classes at for Padilla students will resume tomorrow at Robert C. Dotson School for pre-K through 4th grade. Students in grades 5 through 8 will go to Roosevelt High School. No word yet when mold abatement at Padilla School will be completed. And a school in Suffolk County is also dealing with mold. Parents say it's making their children sick at Oakdale Bohemia Middle School. Administrators say excessive summer heat and humidity are to blame. Photos show mold on blackboards, in classrooms, in stairwells, in the cafeteria, and under floor tiles. But even after professional cleaning, more mold is turned up. Parents say students should be moved to another school until all the mold problems are solved. A shop owner in Stuyvesant Town thought all was lost after a fire destroyed her business, but now she says that's not the case because loyal customers are helping her battle back. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor explains.
These bags were good.
These few bags of merchandise are all Carol Husick was able to salvage after an underground transformer caught fire 2 weeks ago right by her Stuytown children's boutique, Ibiza Kids.
This is my livelihood. It's a very frightening thing to have happen.
Firemen had to open her store's emergency doors to put out the fire, causing smoke and soot to fill up the shop. Crews are still cleaning up some of the mess. 95% of her items on her sales floor and in storage were ruined. Toys and clothes had to be put in bags and thrown away. She couldn't even donate them.
I'm not about to sell anything to families and to children that could have an ounce of anything bad on it. I said, you know what, I just got to bite the bullet, get rid of it all, hoping to get reimbursed for much of it.
While other First Avenue stores opened just 2 days after the fire, Ibiza Kids is still closed.
It's devastating, emotionally, psychologically.
But it's the community, Husick says, that keeps her going.
People have come to the door and said, if you need any help unpacking boxes, if you want help pricing things.
Neighbors donating their time and also words of encouragement every day they've been shut down.
We're looking forward to the reopening of Ibiza.
We expect it to be here. We want it to be here. We need it to be here.
This mother stopping by to tell Husick she will be there the first day they reopen.
Oh, it makes us sad for them, and we know that they have to do a lot of work to get the store open again, but we're rooting for them.
I can't tell you how amazing that is to know that the community gets us and understands our value and is there to support us.
Because of that, Husick promises to come back bigger, stronger, and cleaner than ever before. Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.
A consumer alert this morning about a product from Hawaii. It affects macadamia nuts that were shipped to stores earlier this month. The Manalau brand says it found E. coli bacteria in the drinking water at its Hawaiian packing plant. So far, there are no reports of anyone getting sick, but the plant has been shut down for the time being. The nuts were packaged between September 6th and September 21st. Dunkin' Donuts is officially changing its name by losing half of it. On Tuesday, the chain announced plans to rebrand simply as Dunkin'. The company wants wants to be known more for beverages like coffee and tea and for to-go food beyond donuts. The change officially takes place in January, though it's already been rolled out at about 50 locations nationwide. And that's your CBS 2 News Update. I'm Mary Calvi. Have a great day.